All right, everyone, grab your popcorn, because this isn't just another royal headline. Oh no, this is the royal soap opera we never asked for, but can't stop watching. The fairy tale that once made the world swoon has officially turned into a full-blown emotional roller coaster. And not the fun kind. It's messy, it's painful, and it's all happening right before our eyes. So where do we even begin? Let's set the scene. Meghan and Harry. Once the picture-perfect couple, smiling for cameras, holding hands, whispering sweet nothings at charity galas. Now, it's like watching a slow-motion train wreck, except the train is their marriage, and the wreckage is splattered all over the internet. And the whispers? Oh honey, they've turned into a roar. Meghan wants out. You hear it everywhere. Tabloids, Twitter, dinner tables, the same haunting phrase echoing through the gossip halls. And honestly, looking at the evidence, I hate to say it, but it's hard to disagree. Picture this. Harry's flying off to New York, giving heartfelt speeches about men's mental health, something he truly, deeply cares about. Meanwhile, Meghan, she's in Paris, with Marcus Anderson. Yeah, that Marcus, the one the press likes to call her second husband. Ouch. Now, I'm not here to jump to conclusions, but come on, the optics are terrible. Harry's out there trying to make a difference, pouring his heart into causes that mean something to him. And Meghan's, well, she's shopping, networking, reconnecting with old friends, or maybe old flames. It's giving separate lives, totally different worlds. And let's not forget, this isn't an isolated thing. The list of Harry's solo appearances just keeps growing. Las Vegas, the UK, China, even Ukraine, for crying out loud. The man's everywhere. Alone. It's like he's on a world tour of loneliness, practically begging the universe for a hug. And Meghan's halfway across the globe. The awkward togetherness. That Kevin Costner event. Now some people pointed to the Kevin Costner charity event. See? They were together? Yeah, technically. But did you see those pictures? Their body language said it all. It wasn't a couple in love. It was two strangers posing for a photo because they had to. You know that kind of awkward smile where you're dying inside but have to keep it together for the camera? Yeah, that one. It was giving family photo at gunpoint vibes. And honestly, considering royal family dynamics, that's not too far-fetched. And it just makes you wonder, what do they even talk about anymore? What do they have in common? She's Hollywood glitz and red carpet glam. He's a soldier at heart, a pub guy, beer in hand, laughing with old army friends. She's all about image, brand deals, and networking. He's the what you see is what you get kind of guy. They're oil and water, except this oil is organic, sustainably sourced, and probably costs $50 a bottle. Harry fell hard, and she knew it. Let's be real. Harry's never been the sharpest tool in the royal shed. He fell for Meghan hard, like head over heels, blind to reality kind of hard. It wasn't just love, it was obsession. She was excitement, escape, everything he wasn't getting from his royal bubble. He saw something wild, different, intoxicating. She saw a prince, a title, a platform, and a lot of unresolved emotional baggage. It wasn't destiny, it was chemistry and circumstance, a perfect storm. And let's not kid ourselves, Meghan knows how to play the game. She's smart, calculated. She knows how to find a person's soft spots and make them feel like they're the center of her universe, until they're not. She love-bombed him, told him he was special, that he could be free with her. And poor Harry, already lost between grief for his mom, resentment toward his dad, and a lifetime of pressure, fell for it completely. But once she got what she wanted, the magic faded. Now, Harry's standing there like, what happened? And Meghan's moved on to the next big project, herself. You know what's wild? Prince William would have never fallen for it. Say what you will about him, but he's got that emotional armor, that royal common sense. He can spot manipulation from a mile away. He's grounded, pragmatic. He's the kind of guy who sees the storm coming and builds a wall. Harry? He just danced in the rain. And here's another thing. Harry's not a showbiz guy. He never was. He's military, boots on the ground. Late nights with his mates, laughing over a pint. He doesn't belong in a world of stylists, scripts, and staged photo shoots. That's Meghan's world, not his. And let's talk about the irony for a second. He's out here giving talks about mental health, but the man's lifestyle is practically a blueprint for burnout. Sleeping in, eating junk, maybe a little too much weed. It's like he's trying to heal while digging the same hole deeper. Meanwhile, Meghan's looking at the UK like it's a dusty old theater she's too good for. The royal duties, the charity visits, the hospital openings, all beneath her brand. The woman who wanted to modernize the monarchy now won't even set foot on British soil. Can you imagine her taking a teddy bear from a kid at a hospital visit? She's probably thinking, sanitize this, it's toxic. The UK was never big enough for Meghan Markle. She wanted Hollywood-level fame, global spotlight, luxury, and control. And poor Harry? He's just another character in her script. So, let's get brutally honest here. What do Harry and Meghan even have in common anymore? Nothing. Nada. Zilch. Unless you count Harry's libido, and let's be real, even that's probably been scheduled into Meghan's calendar right between her brand strategy meetings and PR alignment calls. Once upon a time, it was all passion and fireworks. She showered him with affection, called him my rock, made him feel like he could conquer the world. She was the drug that filled that gaping void inside him, the one left by his mother's death, his strained relationship with his father, the media circus that stalked him since childhood. But that love-bombing phase, it ended the moment the ink dried on the marriage certificate. Suddenly the script flipped. Meghan wasn't whispering sweet nothings anymore. She was making plans, her plans. Honey, I'm not enjoying being a royal. I think I'd rather live in North America. Montecito, California sounds nice, and off they went. The royal runaways, trading crowns for cameras, duty for documentaries. But what did Harry really trade? His family, his friends, his sense of belonging? He gave it all up for Meghan's version of freedom, and now he's realizing that freedom comes with a price tag, one that's emotionally bankrupting him. Let's talk about Harry's friends. They saw this coming from miles away. They didn't like Meghan from the start. Too polished, too politically correct, too woke. She didn't like the hunting, didn't fit into the crowd, rolled her eyes at royal traditions. Now look, nobody's saying she had to shoot deer to fit in, but you can't marry into a centuries-old family and then act shocked that they still follow centuries-old traditions. And when your friends, your closest friends, start saying, "Run, Harry, run," maybe it's time to pause and listen. But love makes fools of us all. And Harry, poor Harry, was the biggest fool of all. He thought he could change her, and she thought she could rebrand him. In the end, both lost themselves trying to make each other into something they weren't. And now, it's like watching someone wake up from a dream they thought was a fairy tale, only to realize it's a nightmare. Here's the kicker. Everything about Meghan is strategic. Every smile, every step, every silence. She doesn't do random. So, when people say she's focusing on herself, what they really mean is, she's building brand Meghan. Forget the Duke and Duchess. It's the Markle Show now, starring Meghan, written by Meghan, produced by Meghan. And guess who's not on the cast list anymore? Yep, Harry. He's out there in New York giving emotional speeches about men's mental health while she's in Los Angeles, schmoozing at power lunches, planning her next Netflix moment and keeping her distance. And the emotional distance? Oh, it's palpable. She's washed her hands of him, privately, professionally, completely. Some people say she's tired of his constant gloom, that moody, heavy energy he brings everywhere. And honestly, who could blame her? Living with someone who's perpetually sad, angry, and misunderstood can drain your soul. But still, he's her husband. Where's the empathy, the support, the in sickness and in health? The answer's simple. She's moved on emotionally. Harry's still clinging to what's left. This is the part that truly breaks you. Because Harry, for all his fame, his titles, his wealth, is lonely. Think about it. Married, with 2 beautiful kids, a house in Montecito that looks like a movie set, and still empty. He's become a man surrounded by noise, but starved of connection. It's become a pattern, a trail of fractured friendships and strained partnerships. Every time, Harry's left wondering what went wrong, never quite realizing that maybe he's part of the problem. Here's a controversial take. Harry's had too much therapy. Yep, I said it. Look, therapy's great. We all need it sometimes. But at some point, you've got to stop analyzing your trauma and start living again. Harry's become trapped in his own self-awareness. Everything's about healing, boundaries, and reclaiming my narrative. It's not just the end of a marriage, it's the end of an illusion. Harry thought he was escaping the royal cage, but all he did was build a new one. Made of glass, not gold. And Meghan? She's still chasing the spotlight, but somewhere deep down, maybe she misses the prince who once looked at her like she hung the moon. Or maybe not. The moon. Maybe this was the plan all along, and she's just moving on, leaving behind a man who loved too deeply, too blindly. Either way, one thing's clear, this isn't a fairy tale anymore. It's a cautionary tale. A story about what happens when ambition trumps love, when ego overshadows empathy, when 2 people lose sight of who they were before the world started watching. And in the middle of it all stands Harry, lost, lonely, and still searching for the one thing he's been missing all along: peace.